All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Marketing Pains. My name is Will Hanke. My business is called Window Treatment Marketing Pros. We do everything digital to help you get more leads for your window treatment and awning business. And excited about today's podcast. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus from the podcast standpoint, and just kind of taking a step back and starting to build some really good guests and some really great quality for you. And today is no exception to that. I've got an industry veteran in the window fashions industry with well over 2 decades in software technology. He is the CEO and founder of a company called Solatech, and they are located in High Point, North Carolina. So excited to have Ray Soltis on today. Ray, how are you?
Great. Well, good to see you. It's been a while. I'm glad we're sitting down and doing this. I know we've been kicking it around for a while. I'm glad the stars aligned.
Been a while. Yeah, finally, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been a while, but we're here and live. So I'm excited to talk to you today about a couple different things. Obviously, the big one being Solatech, and learning more about how you help the window fashion industry, and how our listeners could potentially benefit from your products, your services, those sorts of things. So
Great.
Excited to have you here today. So let's jump in. If you're ready, why don't you go ahead and just give us the 2-minute elevator pitch about Solatech?
Okay. Yeah, happy to do that. I'll try to keep it under 2 minutes.
Okay.
Solatech, I like to say we're a software technology company. We're not just a window covering company, but we focus on the window fashion industry. And our focus is on providing accurate product configuration data for retailers and dealers to help across multiple systems that we offer to the industry. We're not just a one strict pony, so to speak. And it allows our clients to quote, sell, order, and then fabricate, all the complex products that are available within this industry. And we know how complex they are. We've got a really long tenure in this industry, which I'll try to touch on if we get a chance in this. And we really understand the industry, understand the segments, and understand how they interrelate. And we've got strong relationships and partnerships because of that experience that we try to utilize to benefit all of our clients across the board. And we've been doing this since, several decades now. So that's really Solatech. We're about helping businesses become more efficient and profitable.
You must have started this when you were 9, I guess.
Yeah, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Yeah. I used to like to talk about how long we've been doing this, and now it's a little bit painful, but that's okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I just celebrated our 25th year doing digital marketing. And I'm like, that doesn't sound right. That couldn't be possible. I'm only at 29, right?
29. Exactly.
So, as I mentioned in the intro, and you said you've been doing this for about 20 years. Would that be fair?
We've been doing it for longer than that. Solatech is for a little over 20 years. Yes.
Got it. Okay. And you're the CEO/founder of this. So kind of what got you into window fashions as an industry, first of all, and then what got you started with the idea of Solatech?
Interesting question. Great. So yeah, we've been doing this for a while. My background is software and technology. I got a degree in computer science. And I'll give you kind of a background a little bit there.
Sure.
I was working at the time with GE Aerospace on a DOE project in Florida. My wife was working for the partners on computer maintenance or computer systems at Price Waterhouse. We had an opportunity to take over a small business here in High Point where she grew up. And we thought, all we had to lose was money, and we didn't have any. So what the heck? So we moved to North Carolina, basically packed everything and started the road of entrepreneurship. Through that process, we started developing a lot of different software systems for different local businesses. One of them happened to be a window covering company. Got into that. We saw that there was maybe some potential opportunity. And then we went down to Atlanta to a trade show. This was back in, the early 90s.
Okay.
And met a gentleman who is unfortunately no longer with us. I don't know whether to bless him or curse him for getting me into this industry, but no, just kidding. David Walker, great guy, more on the fabrication end. He was did machines for 2-inch horizontal fabrication. We jumped into building a software system for 2-inch horizontal fabrication. Anyway, long story short, fast forward 7 or 8 years, we learned how much we didn't know. We had
Right.
no idea going in how complicated this industry was. So we started from scratch in 99 and created Solatech, rewrote all the software, recreated everything from scratch, changed the design of our software to separate, I'm not going to geek out here too much, but to separate the software from the technology behind the product. So we could basically support any kind of product for any kind of industry, as complicated or as simple as you want. And that's kind of where Solatech came from. So through the years, every time we ran into, before I started Solatech, we ran into, retail dealers wanting shutters or verticals. And every time we had to go back, we had to reinvent, from a software development standpoint. Anyway, we built the product configuration design we have currently, and it's grown and evolved and supported us ever since. And that's kind of where Solatech came from.
I love that. You had something that you were kind of already using, and saw a greater need for it. I'm assuming other people were asking for similar things, and you're like, well, we kind of already do that. You just had to reconfigure a little bit, I guess.
Yep. And to start from scratch with a new company, new product, new investment, basically I self-funded getting everything going to start Solatech. We already had somewhat of a little bit of a client base, but not much.
Right.
But we needed a platform or a system that we knew would grow and evolve with us. And here we are 22, 23 years later. System's been developed and upgraded since then, obviously, but the design, the platform is still as powerful today as it was then.
Yeah.
Actually, more so.
That's awesome. We have very similar paths. I've been doing the digital marketing thing for, like I said, 25 years. But it was 5 or 6 years ago that we had a couple window treatment clients that were really killing it. And we saw the niche and just decided, everybody needs this across the US. So it made sense, for something you're already doing, just kind of redo it and put it out there as a package deal. Also, obviously, creating something for a specific industry limits the amount of people you can talk to, but at the same time, it makes your product very, very specific and desirable, I guess would be a good way to put it.
And that's a great point. I mean, this industry is so unique. I've never found a product more complicated than some of the custom window treatment products. And it is a niche, and but there's some barriers to entry that, you don't see QuickBooks doing what we do. You don't see Microsoft. These other companies, it's small enough that, they're not going to come in here and try to do what we do.
Yep.
But it's hard for somebody else to do it very well. So that's where our tenure, our experience, and our system design really shines and gives us the ability to do something that really nobody else or very few can do.
I love it. So we probably already touched on this, but what would be your company's kind of unique selling proposition? What is something that you guys do that other competitors or similar businesses don't do?
Great question. Product configuration to design. There's nothing we can't handle within this industry. And we also do, and I can touch on that briefly. We've also, worked a little bit in other industries. And anytime somebody from another industry, we just did a demo recently for a gutter system company, point of sale. They say, well, our products are pretty complex. I'm like, yeah, I'm not worried about being able to support any product, any industry, because we can do what we do. So that product configuration strength is huge, whether it's on the retail side or on the manufacturing side. Our experience and the relationships and people that we work with in this industry and have known for years, I think gives us a lot of credibility and a lot of contacts. When dealers reach out to us and say, hey, we had a problem with this order or with this manufacturer, I could call a VP or the GM, whoever with the company, and say and help them out, because we've done business with them, we've been around, we know each other, and there's a mutual respect between them.
That's huge. Plus, you can get things done quicker, right? When you have those relationships, you can implement faster.
Yep, absolutely.
If there's a product change, you guys can be on it pretty fast.
Correct. Absolutely. I can't think of the number of the names of all the different companies that have come and gone trying to do what we do over the last 20 years. There's just too many to even keep up with.
Yeah.
We've got partnerships is a huge thing with this. Again, that's because of our experience and our relationships in the industry. We're working on and I don't want to go into too much yet, but we're working on a partnership with this company called Window Treatment Marketing Pros. And we're going to be integrating some of our systems in theirs. And I think that's just, because of who we are and what we've done, it's going to be a win-win. We don't try to be something that we're not.
Yeah.
We're not a marketing company. We don't do SEO. We're working with a company called Dispatch that does scheduling. They do a fantastic job. I'm not going to try to reinvent the wheel. We don't.
Right.
We partner with and we support QuickBooks, desktop and online. I have no desire or no interest in trying to become an accounting company, but we partner with those companies. We work directly with Grave or Horizons. And if you go to solatech.com/partners, you'll see a list of some of our partners. We haven't got everybody up there yet, but we've got a lot of different partners within and outside the industry that we work with to leverage for the benefit of our clients.
Yeah. Again, back to those relationships. I think that's pretty huge for you guys. That's great.
And the last one can't help but mentioning is with the experience is the team we have here. We've been around a long time. I did the math today. The team we have currently at Solatech, which is not huge, we have an average tenure of 17 years with the company. So there's people that know the product, know the industry, and they're great to work with. They're all onshore. We're all here in the U.S. Almost all of us are here in High Point. So it's a big, big benefit for our clients. We develop personal relationship with most all of our clients just because of the type of people we have here and their tenure. So a huge benefit.
That's a huge one too. Yeah. Not having that rollover and an average tenure of 17 years is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Thank you. We're proud of it.
Yeah. So this is a marketing podcast, as you know, so let's chat a little bit more about the marketing side. Let's start off by we've talked a little bit about Solatech and what it is. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about the product of Solatech?
Okay, certainly. Yeah. And it's interesting because, again, we've done so many different things. It depends on who you might ask in the industry, what they might tell you we do. But the reality is we do a lot of different things. We are the leader in window treatment software. We like to say on our website, and we've proven that over and over again. Primary products are our web-based platforms. We have a web-based point of sale system for the window covering retail dealers, independent dealers. It's called Focus, and it helps them focus their business and provides quoting, selling, ordering, direct integration with the manufacturers. We have a fabrication/ERP system offline and an online system that we are rolling out in the near future. We have that I'm aware of, the only turnkey dealer ordering portal for buying groups or retail or large manufacturers. If you're a fabricator or a retail dealer or even a franchise group and you want a tool, a point of sale system, private labeled for your group, we have a turnkey system that allows us to do that.
That's nice.
So we've got, we work with, I'll get into some of our clients later, but that's called our dealer ordering system, or we call it DOS. We also do lasers. We were the first to introduce Leica Disto lasers into the industry in 2003 when we were doing a project with Mohawk Flooring. And we do some other industries. So really all across the board, focus primarily being retail dealer point of sale system for in-home sales on an iPad or any other type of device, as well as manufacturing systems.
Awesome. So, our audience is mostly window treatment and awning dealers, I guess would be an easy way to call it. They would use your system for the most part. They would utilize that in the home. Would that be fair?
Correct. If on the retail dealer side, yes, definitely in the home, in-home point of sale, also in the showroom or kiosk. If they have one. Awnings is something I haven't mentioned, but we're bringing some awning companies into our system for the point of sale. But on the manufacturer side, the providers of the awnings, the dealer ordering portal would be a way to offer a tool to their dealers for quote online quoting and ordering.
Okay. That's fantastic. I appreciate you clarifying that. So what inspired you to get started with all this? We touched on it a little bit around the fact that you already kind of were doing it. What really inspired you to do that? And what is one thing that you could attribute your success to?
What probably got us inspired, it was, not by design, but by default, going to that show, meeting David Walker and saying, you know what, there's a need. In a long time writing software, sold one system the first year for $500. So we weren't off to the races big time. But it was just perseverance after that. We saw the need. The more we learned, the bigger the benefit we saw. And the perseverance to go through the ups and downs in the industry, the ups and downs in the economy, and to know that what we're doing is going to benefit our customers long term. Yeah. And we've got Yeah, I had a couple clients at the IWCE show that were both coming up to me independently and telling me that they were our first client. And I'm not sure if either one of them were, but they've both been using systems from us for over 2 decades.
That's
So
great.
we look at it as a long-term relationship partnership with a customer. We know how important the software is to running their business, and it's critical for us to be there for them as they run their business. And when there's an issue or problem, if there is one, we need to take care of it immediately, and we take that responsibility very seriously.
Yeah. So this one's going to be tough, and I need you to boil it down to one thing. You've already kind of talked about a lot of different benefits for a window treatment or awning dealer. What would be the one benefit that taking on your system would help them with?
Save time and money.
There you go. Nice and easy,
right? Is that right? Right.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
And we've tracked it and documented. I had a retail dealer tell us one time he figured that after using the system, he'd been using manual for a long time, 7 years, I think. He was saving upwards of 40 hours of labor a month, which is crazy, ridiculous, but he swears by it. So it's really about getting your life back, making your business more efficient.
That's great. Those two things are probably going to resonate with a lot of listeners, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. It's funny when I'm talking to people about helping them from the lead standpoint, I'll ask them, well, what CRM are you using now? Well, what's a CRM? We're writing things down, or we're keeping a notebook, or we have a whiteboard, or we're putting them into Excel. It's interesting to see where people are. And just being able to open their eyes to how many things you can automate, how many things you can shorten down, and save on labor at the end of the day. Right?
Absolutely. That's the biggest challenge in this industry. That's what keeps businesses, I believe, from scaling. And that's what we would like to help.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's huge. So speaking of scaling and businesses, as a business owner and trying to build things, what do you see as one of the biggest mistakes that business owners make or implement in their business?
To kind of use a worn out adage, they keep doing the same thing, like you mentioned just a minute ago, over and over again and expect different results.
Right. And
not trying to step back and figure out how to run the business as opposed to let the business run them.
Yeah.
I think when it's really taking a more logical business approach to how they run their business. I think in this industry, a lot of people come up as they start as an installer, or they did some window treatments for a friend, and it was like, okay, I'm going to do a little bit here, and it becomes, in some cases, starts as a hobby, becomes a business. But unlike some other industries, there's not a lot of folks that really have that goal and mindset to scale to really become, large. $1 million is a good target for this industry. In a lot of other industries, I'm thinking of flooring. If you're doing $1 million, you can't even probably stay in business. I think there's opportunities for this industry to grow way bigger than it is. And it just needs the right tools and the support to do that, and the right mindset.
Great mindset. You can't do it without that. If you have a defeatist attitude, or even nowadays, thinking that you have to totally dominate one market, and that there's not room for competition. I think competition's good. And I think that, a rising tide lifts all boats, that kind of thing.
Agreed.
I think those kind of things really can start to set a business owner apart from somebody else. You also mentioned, small businesses, or as I think it's Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank says, you don't have a business, you have a hobby, right? Or you have a job, right?
Yeah, exactly. Usually it's a job.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not something you want to create for yourself. So I appreciate you sharing those ideas around how to get past just assigning yourself a list of tasks and becoming just another job for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So appreciate that. So as I mentioned, we like to talk about marketing. So what has been one of the biggest marketing challenges for you when getting the word out about Solatech?
Probably going back again, having been doing this for so long, we were kind of always, a lot of times for years, running on status quo, assuming we've been around so long, everybody knew who we were. Not true. Or assuming that, if somebody was looking for something, they'd find us, they'd come knock on the door. also not always true. But we had enough business of doing that. So I think probably our biggest marketing, we were doing trade shows, but for the years and years, we really didn't do much marketing at all. We're changing
Okay.
that. We're changing that. We're doing more. But I think our biggest marketing mistake was probably not getting on the train much earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely makes sense. We saw you guys at the IWCE Expo back in April. I think you're going to be at the IFAI conference here coming up in October as well.
Absolutely.
Sun Shading Expo, that's going to be great. So, it's great. I think those events are good for obviously getting the word out about your business and all of your customers in one place. I mean, who could ask for something better than
True.
that? Great. Trade shows. That's good. So along the lines of
to that extent, you're right. All your customers, it's somewhat this industry. That's the other challenge, and you know this better than anybody. How it's fragmented the industry is. So you go to a trade show and you're getting a lot of folks that you're talking to, and that's great. It's a good concentration of people. But there's so many people in this industry that really need help that are so busy and don't have time to go to a trade show or don't even know about a trade show. They're working their job, every day.
Yes.
So getting, and it's not like you can get on a Facebook page or you can send out an email and basically reach everybody. It takes somebody that, even more so for our clients, somebody like yourself that knows marketing and understands how to get it in front of the clients, because it's just not easy you can't just do one thing and then expect everybody to be aware. And you can't do it once or twice or even 5 times and expect it to work.
Right. I'm a big baseball fan. And of course, the phrase in baseball is if you build it, they will come. Right.
Right.
In the world of business, that's not the case.
Not
Nobody cares and nobody's just going to show up out of nowhere. So
true.
Yeah. Here's a tricky one. Your competitors, what kind of marketing thing do you see that they're doing that's pretty cool or uncool?
Good question. I don't really focus too much on what else other people are doing in the industry. I'll get emails from clients sometimes about what somebody's talking about. I do what we don't do, and you might know better than us whether, the legitimacy of it. I know for a fact that there's companies out there in the industry that'll go out and just buy great big lists and just kind of spam on a regular basis.
Sure.
Same message over and over, or some messages that are, in my opinion, misleading. And we just don't do that. Again, since we've been around so long, our database is very significant and organic. I don't know about the validity of just broadcast marketing to a purchase list. But that's what I've seen the most of. Everybody's doing the trade shows and everybody's, contacting the big players or the big, groups like franchises.
Right.
Which, of the 4 major franchises that I'm aware of in the industry, Solatech has worked or does work currently with all of them. So we are already kind of well placed within that group. But we just, from a marketing standpoint, I've not really seen anybody doing anything that says, wow, that's a cool idea. I hope they do, because I'd love to leverage it.
Okay, let me switch it a little bit and give you another question. What do you see in the world of window treatments and awnings in like the industry in general that is something that's new that's maybe shifting the market a little bit?
Exterior has gotten big. I mean, from the where we're sitting, again, from a product standpoint, there's not that big of a difference for us because of the way our system designed, but the focus on exterior and expanding the reach and the sales opportunities to the other side of the window, I think has become a big thing. That, along with soft treatments, drapes, curtains. I mean, we've always been a proponent and supporter of the soft treatment market. Some folks look at it as a completely different world. I think from a sales standpoint, it is. From a product configuration standpoint, it's just, to our standpoint, it's just a different set of options and choices and rules. But with the same result. Those products are very expensive, and there's a great profit margin, and you can't shop it. You can't go to Home Depot and say, well, can I buy this custom made drape from Home Depot for less? Because it's custom made drape. And the biggest benefit in there, the biggest downside, I guess, is the time and the expertise that's required to design, market, quote, and sell one of those products. And that's kind of where we come in. If we can make that process streamlined and efficient, it will makes the business more efficient. But exterior and soft treatments are really where a lot of the focus is. Roller shades have been around for a long time, and that's still the case. They're significant.
Yeah.
We've not set up a fabricator in probably 7 or 8 years that does not make roller shades. So that's kind of a staple anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I would definitely agree with you on the exterior side. We're talking with more and more window treatment companies who are now offering, outside shades of some sort, and lanais, those types of things. And with the pandemic and all that stuff, we've even had some conversations with companies up north where they have those, can't think of the name of it, where there's those outside
pergolas.
Yeah. You're kind of inside, like sheltered from the rain and things like that, but it's still in an outside environment of some sort.
I think you're talking about a pergola.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, different, and those can be constructed in all different sizes. You can have screens coming down the side.
Yeah. We definitely see more of that. And even some window treatment companies moving into the awning space as well. So basically, like you said, covering both sides of the window now.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we're going. That's part of the focus at the IFAI and Sun Shading Expo. And again, we are bringing in some awning customers, adding our dealers, I should say, to our product line for our dealers. So, and we've been looking for pergolas, other exterior products, because we can support any kind of product. If the window covering dealer is a good sale venue or a sales channel for you, then that's the kind of product that we would like to put into the system, because it increases everybody's take-home pay and their money.
Yeah. Cool. So, along the lines of marketing your business, what was probably one of the worst marketing ideas you've ever had?
Probably not doing enough, really, like I mentioned earlier. I mean, because we did trade shows for a while, then we took a break for 5 or 6 years, which we probably was a mistake after the fact. This is after 08, 09 timeframe. The fact that we haven't done enough marketing, I think, is probably the biggest issue.
Or taking your foot off the gas, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, we see that a lot too, and especially with a lot. If people are paying attention to the news and the economic downturn that's supposedly coming, there are some businesses will say, well, we better pull back. There are others that double down during that time, and those are the ones that win, right? They double down, and when they come out of this thing, they're in such a good spot. So, all right, here's a good one. If money were no object, what's the craziest marketing stunt you would like to launch?
Good deal. Good idea. Let me think about that. There's another business I have that I hadn't mentioned because it's not really part of this podcast, called LEDA, Leading Edge Designer Alliance. It's a buying group for the industry. If money was no object, I would basically leverage Solatech and LEDA and offer what we do, point of sale for multiple vendors, to the industry for free. And just say, hey, if you sign up, and LEDA membership doesn't cost anything either, and just basically give away what we do to help make the industry more productive, more efficient. I think that would be cool to just set a standard within the industry that, hey, this is what's going to happen. This is how it works. You're going to make your business more, and then scale the industry as a whole, starting on the retail side, which is going to drive everybody down the food chain further up. So that would be fun. That would be cool to basically use philanthropy to grow the industry.
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
maybe someday.
Yeah. Back to mindset. I think just that answer to that question shows your mindset, and that's fantastic. So that's fun. We will link to LEDA down in the show notes as well, just in case anybody wants to check that out. So along those lines, if somebody does want to learn more about Solatech, what are the best ways for them to reach out, start a conversation, or engage with you?
Good question. Solatech.com, obviously, first and foremost, the place you'd want to go. We have on our website, as well as within all of our software application, we have a chat feature that goes directly to our in-home team here at Solatech. So if they have questions, you don't have to pick up the phone. You can also call us at I think it's 877 Solatech. I don't call our toll-free line very often, but I'm pretty sure that's it. It's on the website. Or email sales@solatech.com, any one of those. And we try to make, whether you're looking at Solatech or you're a client, we want our team to be as easy to be reached as on whatever platform, whatever works.
Awesome. And just real quick, the process for that would probably be similar to ours, right? A discovery call, figure out what is it they're trying to accomplish.
Mhm.
And then you guys do some sort of a demo, I would assume.
Yep. We always start with a good like to just start with a discovery call, because somebody say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Well, that may or may not be the best fit. They may not know everything we can do. So a discovery call followed by a live one-on-one in-person webinar. Somebody says, you know what, this is great. Sign me up. We get all that taken care of. Then we do one-on-one. They have a support specialist that does all the setup of the software and configuration. And then we do one-on-one individualized training. If you have 8 salespeople, we're going to train them one by one at a time. That's not the most efficient way to do it for us, but it's the most productive. And we know that from experience. Again, we've been doing this a long time. So our goal is to get everybody up and successful as quickly as possible, regardless of whatever that takes. Once they make the commitment, so do we.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's back to that relationship thing, right? If you're doing these one at a time, you're building that relationship with that customer, and they're going to stick around longer, right? Because they know that you guys are going to answer the questions. You're there, you have the expertise.
True.
Awesome. Well, Ray, I really do appreciate all of your time today. I appreciate all the fantastic answers that you had today. And if anybody wants to learn more about Solatech, of course, you can look at the show notes below. We'll put those links in there, and a link to Lita as well. And if you want to learn more about the IFAI Expo that's coming up, or Sun Shading Expo, I'll put those links in the show notes as well. I do have 2 or maybe 3 sessions that I'm teaching at the Sun Shading Expo. So excited about that. I'll be talking on Google My Business and generating leads, all of the things that we expect to have. So excited to have that, excited to see everybody there. And of course, you, Ray, as well. We'll hang out, get a beer, some sort of adult beverage, I'm sure.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining and listening today, and hope you all have a great day. Take care.
Thanks, Will.